and we are going to talk about how to get your offer accepted. Here you go, my man. So for my people that are here, they get an actual piece of paper, they get to sign in, and they get a chance to drop their business card in and possibly win the gift card of the day. And for those of you guys online, you get to just see my smiling face and be a part of this. So hopefully it will be something that is important to you guys. You can utilize it, whether you've been in the industry a while or you're brand new. This is something you guys should know. And hopefully these, be a couple of tips in here that you guys may not use already, and you may be able to add to your arsenal to help you get, your offers accepted. Is there any questions before I jump in and get started, just real quick? And you guys got to unmute yourself if you just want to hop in. If not, no big deal. It's me trying to control everything. Usually Kelly kind of controls the stuff. So if it takes me a second, I apologize. Give me just a moment to respond in. So I'm going to start out with a story. Actually, I have two stories that all kind of tie into this. And this is actually the reason I chose to move this up a little bit. It was supposed to be in a couple weeks, but I was sitting here. We have a Monday morning accountability. If you guys are interested, Monday morning live, 9 a.m. here in the office, we do an accountability session. And then we started up last week, our 9 a.m. accountability on Thursdays. If you want to hop in on Zoom, I run that one also. It's just, checking in, what's your week look like? What are you trying to accomplish? And if you talk to anybody that's in our current 9 a.m. on Monday mornings, they've all said that this just accountability and camaraderie has helped them to all excel their businesses. And most of them are top producers. So just an opportunity for you guys to jump in. But Brendan Moore is one of the guys that is in our Monday mornings. And Brendan mentioned to me that he got an offer on a listing he has. It's got a listing out in the Sun City community of Roseville, and it's a 55 and over community. Great little property, 1,200 square feet. They had it listed, and he got an offer. The agent never contacted him. He can't even prove the agent showed the property. No lender called him. The offer was written, decent as in they filled in the boxes, but didn't have proof of funds for where the down payment was coming from. Lender didn't message him, nothing. No communication with Brendan to find out what's important to me as the seller or to you guys and your seller side. So very important that, you guys start to have those communications so you can understand what the seller wants. And then we'll get into that a little bit more detail. Another little story I have for you guys is the exact opposite. So Jordan Bunnell is one of our agents, and he had a client who was interested in a property. It's listed in Roseville for $525, little 1,500 square footer. And they'd been on the market for like 37 days, and his client's cash. So he called and said, hey, asked me what to do. And I said, hey, first and foremost, call the listing agent. Start to build relationship. Ask them questions, engage them about the property. Tell them that you've seen the property already with your clients and you're going to go back and show it again. You're trying to show them my clients have some serious interest. In that conversation, we also discussed him saying that, hey, my clients like this, but they are cash and they want to make sure they're getting a good deal. So like I said, listed at 525 and they wanted to be right around 500. So I said, hey, throw it out that, hey, my clients are cash. They want to get this good deal. So they're thinking 475. I told them I thought that was a little low. And this is pre-negotiation. That's all this is. This is building relationship and finding out what these people are going to say, do. They're going to jump. They're going to tell you, take a hike, whatever, right? And so once he said, hey, my clients are, thinking 475 and, there's another property they're kind of considering. It's in the same area. And there is another listing that they had looked at. The listing agent said, no way, that is not going to work. 475, you're crazy. He said, well, if I could get my clients to 500, do you think they can make it work? And the listing agent said, let me call my client. They already had this pre-negotiated. They're just having a discussion. They came back and said, at 500, we'll take it. And so he is in escrow at 500,000, which is exactly what his clients wanted to pay. And they're 25,000 under the list price. And it was on the market for 37 days. So, but all that was just done via discussion. That was not even, let me just make you an offer and see what happens. This was all kind of pre-done. So when he wrote the offer, he wrote it out and boom, it was accepted. No counter, no nothing. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. Like I said, I bullet pointed this for you guys. I will make a screenshot of all your names and I will send you guys an email with this Word doc that I created for you guys. But so first and foremost, call the listing agent, ask questions about the sellers and the property, build a relationship. We are in the relationship business. No matter what we do, we are always in the relationship business. We are building a relationship with our sellers, with our buyers, and with the other agents in this industry, as well as our lenders and inspectors and things like that. You may only do one deal with this person that's buying this house, but the chances are you're going to run into that listing agent again on the other side of a transaction or socially being out there, and your level of professionalism is going to help you, but it's also going to build your name and your character for the industry as a whole. So, like I said, if you guys have any questions, just chime in, ask me, whatever. Make sure you've shown the property to your clients. Some agents will check the lockbox readings to see if you have entered the property. And if you went and saw the property, during an open house, you could easily say, hey, my clients popped in on an open house. And, I'm taking them out there to see it again later today. So that way, if they do check the readings, it doesn't look like you're some ghost agent. I have a property that we have in escrow. It's due to close this week, and agent never showed the property. Clients never saw the property, wrote the offer. Luckily for them, they were the only offer we had. So we told them, go out and see the property, confirm it's going to work, get approved by the park because it's a mobile. And then we got into escrow with them. But it's kind of crazy how some agents are. And I can understand back in like 2020, 2021, when there was, 100,000 over asking price and you were just like writing 5 and 6 offers per client. I'm not saying that's right. I'm just saying I could see how that is. But right now in today's market, it's going to be even more important that you guys are paying attention to your clients, because you need to secure that relationship with them as well. All right. Write a strong offer with terms that are seller centric. Yes, even in today's market, you should be asking those questions of the seller and the agent. What's important to the seller? Do they need a rent back? Are they trying to sell this as is? What escrow company do they want you to use? There are little tiny things that you can do that will make your offer just a little bit stronger from a term standpoint, so that you don't get a counter offer. You get just an accepted offer like Jordan did. Make sure you have a good relationship with the lender, like I do with Stacy Medinas. Call and ask questions about credit, DTI, down payment, and lender's thoughts on the buyer strength as a whole. Anything you want to chime in about, Miss Stacy?
Yeah, obviously as a lender for so many years, this is just, making an offer 101. Whether you use me or somebody else, make sure they've actually pre-approved them and not just pre-qualified them. I literally just talked to someone who now wants to switch to me because they made an offer and they didn't even run their credit. They didn't ask, they did a pre-qual and now they're in contract, and now they're concerned that they may not be qualified for the property that they're now in contract on. So it is important that someone does a full pre-approval, all docs, all, where's their cash to close coming from? What program do they want? You have to go through all of that. And it literally takes only an hour or two for us to do that. But people are just lazy still to this day, that they will not insist that their client go to a lender or their lender, preferably, because being with your team is the best option because you trust that person and their judgment.
100%. Absolutely. Yeah. You guys have heard this in the past, love letters. For a while, that was what everybody did. And then it was not legal. And now it is sort of legal if the seller will accept it. So ask the listing agent. My clients really like this house. They'd like to write a little story about their family or the fact that grandma lives on the same street, whatever it is. Ask the listing agent, can I write a love letter? Or write a letter, however you want to word it. And then if they say, yes, that's acceptable, submit it. If they ask you not to write one, do not write one. I've had people say that I'm going to write a love letter, even though the listing agent said no. Sometimes sellers don't want to see that. It is a dollars and cents thing. They don't care about the emotion. I want the highest offer, and that's all that I care about. In today's market, it might be a little bit better. It might be a little bit more well received or received. Hello, Miss Audrey. Of course, you're nice. So nice to see you again today.
Gary,
Gary,
Yep.
can I add?
something? Oh,
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I
Yep.
was just gonna say, I used to always write those letters, like always when I first started, and now I
Mhm.
never do. I was told by a wise agent, DJ Nieves, that it's a business transaction. Let's keep it dollars and cents. Let's come to them with the strongest, best offer and not try and pull on the heartstrings. And I feel like for some situations, if it's an older couple or something, or if my buyer just really wants to, I'll ask, but I recommend not doing those letters and just writing an offer that they're gonna accept. Just
got
my
it, and
thought, but everything else
like
is
to make
good.
it-
And I think that comes down to the
I wanted to
relationship
make a
you build
comment
with
on
the
that.
listing agent.
Mhm. So I have one that's in contract that is getting ready to close, that the agent, the selling agent wrote a love letter, and I don't know if she asked or not. But our client was VA. And so, it gets sketchy when people don't know how to deal with a VA. Turns out the sellers were VA as well. And that's why they got their offer accepted, because it was a family, they VA to VA, they totally got the system. So it worked it to our advantage in that particular scenario. Now, I don't know if the selling agent knew that the sellers were VA in advance, but that's how they got this house and how they negotiated the entire transaction. They wanted a veteran to have their house.
Yeah, and I could see Molly's as well as Stacy's
Mhm.
side of that. And like I
Yeah.
said, that comes down to the relationship built with the listing agent to find out, do you think a love letter is going to help me? You could do some background. All you guys can pull tax records and find out if the loan is a VA. Pretty simple. You can find out if it's FHA. You can find out if it's been in the family for 50 years and it's been passed down through 2 generations. There are things like that that you can do some background on. And then, like I said, based on the listing agent in your discussion with them, can easily find out what is it that I can do to make my buyer's offer stand out more than the next person. All right. Send the offer to the listing agent. In the body of the email, give them a rundown on the specifics of your offer. 10% down, conventional, great credit, blah, blah, blah. It is just bullet pointing what is in your offer, instead of just saying, here's the offer from my client. So they think about it, listing agent now has to open up the offer, find out if it's even, at list price. Are you asking me to give up my firstborn child? Or are you asking me to give you the house for free? Just give them a quick bullet point of the 5 things that are super important within your offer. They can look at the rest of the details, the, contingency days, blah, blah, blah. But if you say this is cash, 10% earnest money deposit, and we're at full list price, that looks like a pretty darn good offer. And as a listing agent, I'm going to pay attention to the offer and I'm going to go through it in more detail rather than here's my offer. And I might say, well, I'm going to slide that to the side and I'll get to that later because I don't know what this looks like. So bullet points, super, super important. Make sure your offer stands out from anything else that might be submitted. Include a video of yourself in the email talking about the client on top of writing it in the email. Or you could send, that way you and your client both stand out. You're trying to build, like I said, relationship through this entire transaction. It is all about me as a professional, you as a professional. What are you doing to make sure that your offer, your buyer, and yourself stand out? That this agent says, I want to do business with this team, this group of people in this transaction, because they're going to make my life easy based on how they have presented themselves, presented their offer, presented their buyer. This is going to be easy for all of us. And that's what everybody really truly wants, right? We're trying to make deals happen, not trying to, make this all cryptic and difficult. Ask for received email back. In your email, you should absolutely say, please send me a message to confirm received. Every agent doesn't do that. If you put that at the end of your email, they'll be like, yes, received. At least then it didn't go to a spam folder. You don't know exactly what's going on with, your offer. Could it be out in cyberspace somewhere? Ask the agent when they're going to be reviewing offers. So you have a timeline that you can go back to your client and say, I talked to the listing agent. They have our offer. They're going to be review offers on Friday evening at 5 p.m. So we should hear something either late Friday evening or Saturday by noon, right? So that way you can set the expectation for your clients properly. When I send the email, I also send the agent a text. Hey, I sent you an offer. Can you also please confirm you received it? And I do that as a backup always. Several levels of communication. The offer I received for my mobile home up in Grass Valley, the agent sent the offer, didn't call us, didn't do anything. It was in my spam folder. I didn't notice it. About a day later, hey, have you guys gotten our offer? I was like, I have no idea what we're talking about. Where'd you come from? Well, I talked to your business partner, which is my wife, and I told her I was submitting an offer. I said, well, she didn't communicate that to me and I didn't receive it. So it was in my spam, but we did find it. So it's just those things that you got to do to set yourselves apart, make you a little bit different, better. Here's my favorite. Have the lender call the agent and send an email talking about the client as a whole and how great they are and how strong the offer is, the lender letter, and the lender letters are. A video from the lender would be even better, but also that lender should be building you up as an agent. Gary and I have worked together on so many deals. We've been friends for 12 years. We've done, XYZ. He's a super strong agent. And like I said, our relationship is going to make this easy on you as the listing agent. Miss Medeiros, I know you got something to say.
Yeah, I mean, that should be mandatory on every single offer that's made. I always ask the agents to CC me when they make the offer so that it triggers me to reply. And then I always text a video to the listing agent to say, hey, looks like we just submitted an offer. Please, give me a call back if you have any questions. And they always call, especially when they see me reply to the email. I always get a call from them saying, so what's the deal? One of them was like, they need to get pre-approved with my lender, which I totally get. My clients were like, no way in hell am I submitting my documents. This is the VA one, not doing it. So I negotiated with everyone to have a conversation with the other lender and just give them all the details because it's VA. They're a little tricky, residual income and weird stuff. And so, but that call, the video is important. People love that. A text message is the way I do it. I don't do it via email. And the call and a text message just to make sure that they are aware. Hey, I'm a real person. I know what I'm doing, because the reason transactions fall out is because people don't pre-approve them.
I know for
absolutely.
a fact that I've gotten deals because of Stacy being so good about calling them back and letting them know she's on top of it and they're already pre-approved. That's my lender. Hi, Stacy. Yeah. But she always talks me up. When I hear what she says about me, I'm like, dang, this lady's amazing. Who's she talking about? Oh, you're talking about me? Like she goes above and beyond selling me to get the offer accepted. And I know for a fact we've gotten an offer accepted because of that extra step.
Ditto, sister.
Very cool. Very cool. And then last thing ultimately is follow up with the agent at the time they said they would review an offers. Don't wait for them to, give you a call back. If they reviewed offers at 5 o'clock, I'd probably be calling them at, 5 or 6 and be like, hey, just confirming, or maybe even earlier that afternoon. Hey, confirming you guys are showing reviewing offers today at 5 p.m. Oh, you know what? No, actually my client got called away for work. We're not going to be able to review them until tomorrow morning. I mean, things happen, things change, but you've got to maintain that constant communication. I wouldn't be over the top with, a text every single day. Have you guys reviewed offers? Is there anything I can change? I mean, sometimes you have a client, a buyer that is super anxious about everything. And if they are anxious and you have done what you can to kind of help set their expectations, but they're a little bit overzealous, you may send one extra additional message to listing agent. Hey, my clients are a little bit antsy. So just, they're first time buyers. I want to reach out and just make sure everything's, on task. You're reviewing tomorrow at 5 p.m. or whatever. That way you're just building relationship with them. Every chance you can to build relationship with that listing agent throughout the entire process is of paramount importance. Any chime in from the group here in the office?
Maybe this kind of goes without saying, but one of the things I do if I'm submitting an offer is I call the agent to find out what exactly the seller is looking for. Is there anything in particular? Do they need a rent back? What would make an offer attractive to them? And then I ask if there's other offers. How
Okay,
many other offers are there? So that I kind of know, go preemptively going in.
cool. Audrey said, as we talked about in the front, you're kind of asking questions. She asked if there's any other offers. That way she can help, gauge her clients, level of interest and kind of where they're at, Like I said, Ryan Lundquist just mentioned the other day, everything's ice cold. And now he's like, hey, there's multiple offers on several properties. And you will run into that. If the listing agent did their job properly, they will have listed the property at the correct price, not some January of 2022 price. And that property will get multiple offers because it's the only one probably listed within the right range. And then they will get multiple offers, which will then drive the price up a little bit, which every seller wants, of course. So ask those questions. Do you guys have any offers? What could we do to make our offer stronger? Things like that. That's all your preemptive asking questions so that you make the best offer you can up front. So you're not worried about, the other things later and second guessing yourself. And like I said, you're just setting expectation for your clients. Hey, I've already had a great discussion with listing agent. I've done a deal with them in the past. They know our lender. We have this great symbiotic relationship. We're going to make a solid offer, and I believe we're going to get it accepted. Any questions from anybody else out there in the field? Anybody watching on Zoom? Got anything else for us? Come on, Molly, you always got something to say. Oh, Cheryl, what do you got?
Was that supposed to be a compliment?
Kind of on the opposite of how to be a good agent, but maybe I'm just throwing this out to see if anyone else has experienced this, but I'm seeing a lot of agents just sending their clients. I've had so many people just this week just drive up, and I have appointment only on all my signs, on all my marketing, on everything. And people are just showing up and telling me they told their agent, and their agent doesn't show up. I've had agents make appointments and not show up.
Wow.
I just wondered if you're seeing this same thing. I don't know if agents are just trying to cut corners, gas is high, so they don't want to go with their people, but this is crazy what I'm seeing. And I don't know if it's just me or if other people are seeing the same thing.
So Cheryl, you guys can all hear Cheryl okay?
Yeah, that agent must have a buyer exclusive sign. They're not worried about losing their client. I'm not sure, but I would still go with them.
Well, that really goes to the whole point of what we're talking about here today, which is you as a professional real estate person building relationship with your clients as well as the other agents and really setting the precedence for being professional. There's a lot of agents out there that, just aren't professional. I mean, that in any walk of life, anything we do in the world, you're going to have the people that are, the best of the best, the mediocre ones and the ones that are barely making it. And sometimes, we're going to have to deal with those buyers popping by your house. But I'll be honest with you, if someone showed up at my house without an agent, I'm trying to build that relationship and have that person secured as my client for the future.
And I have another tip, but
Yep.
I know none of you guys do this, but do not answer your phone hello. This bugs the heck out of me. Have a professional script to answer your phone. I don't know how many times
Love
I do that, and it's like, okay, who did I get?
So Gary, I want
Yeah.
to, you were right. I always got something to say, sorry. But this is really key, the relationship. I was in banking before and they thrived on that, but in real estate, it's even more important. I've gotten offers not being the highest because I had really good communication. I sent my pre-approval. This one even told me you clocked in the lockbox on time. The other offer was late. They didn't respect my seller's time. It wouldn't have been something I would have thought of. But that relationship building really starts from the first phone call on the showing.
Yep.
You're going to be respectful, you're going to set it, you're going to show up when you're supposed to be there. And even if my client's not there, I'll click in the lockbox. I don't want them thinking I was 10 minutes late because my buyer was, I'll make sure if we're not together, I clicked in. But relationship is important, and kind of what Audrey said, I always call the selling agent and ask, what are favorable terms for the seller? Is there anything they're really looking for that I can maybe include in the contract? Any certain terms like the rent back, or some sellers are, want title cost split. Asking upfront helps you to make that better offer, and it shows good communication and follow through.
Yep, no, I agree 100%. Relationship is definitely the key. Very, very cool. Anybody else out there? All right, so I have one last thing for you guys. Next week, there is not going to be a Wednesday 11 o'clock class, because there is a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday class that is going to be held on Zoom and live here in the office. We bought Krista Mayshore's coaching session. It's like 16 hours or 18 hours. We're going to do our best to record all of it and secure it the best we can. But if you guys can, you'll be able to go live to Zoom with nb.live, and it'll be all day Tuesday. It's like 8 to 4 or 9 to 4, something like that. You guys will be getting email and text communications from our office that says, here's the sign in, here's some background on Krista Mayshore. She's going to talk a ton about video. She's going to talk a ton about social media. I know it's a lot to endure, but it is like a $5,000 training session that she does live usually. And it includes a bunch of other stuff, but we bought the virtual version for all of our agents to participate in. So if you can even catch, a couple hours of it here and there, like I said, we're going to do everything we can to record it and hold on to that information here. Anything she has as downloads, we're going to be getting those, and then we'll send that out to the group. But look for emails, text messages, and voicemails from us next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Tuesday, Wednesday are full days. Like I said, I think it's like 8 to 4 or 10 to 4. And then Thursday is like, a 3 or 4 hour session. And we will have snacks and giveaways if you come to the live, or you come to the office sessions, because it's not really live. So
Giveaways like a new
Right.
product?
hope that you guys all enjoyed this. Hope you guys all get something from it. And I will send you an email copy with this little PDF so that you guys have it for your records. And thank you all for being here. You don't get to participate in the giveaway, but we still love you anyway.